Okay. So thank you, Anita. So I've seen a few other Cheveners. I've seen Claire. I can see Michael. Oh, I'm introducing them, but they will say more about themselves. So in no particular order, if you're Chevener, turn your mic on and take it away.
Hi, everyone. Congratulations to all of you. It's not easy to come this far, especially to be shortlisted for interviews. Yeah, so I'm Claire Namwenge. I'm a Chevening Scholar 2021-2022. I'm pursuing a master's degree in arts. That's a peace, conflict, and development at the University of Bradford. So yeah, I'm looking forward to an interactive session with you and to share a few tips here and there that could help you in as you prepare for your interviews. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much.
Hi, everyone.
Hi, Michael.
I'm Michael Gumoshabe, and I am studying an MSc in Advanced Mechanical Engineering at the University of Leeds, here in a wonderful city called Leeds. First of all, congratulations. Reaching this stage alone is a tremendous achievement. So for you to have reached this level is really something you should be proud of. And so I wish you all the best, and I'm looking forward to more interactions as we learn together and prepare yourself for the final lap. So congratulations once again. Back to you, Anita.
Yes, I've seen Sandra and any other scholar. Please take it away.
Well, I think apart from Sandra, I think that's all.
Yeah.
Okay, hi, everyone.
Hi, Sandra.
Good evening, good afternoon. Congratulations to the upcoming for making it this far. It is not easy. There are so many applications, so to make it to this stage, it means you have done like a lot of work and you have put in so much effort, and we really appreciate that. And we are looking forward to working with you all. Thank you.
Okay.
All right. Thank you for being around, Sandra. Solomon, do you want to address something real quick?
Yes. Well, I just came in early. So I missed out. I came in late, so I missed out a few things. Well, I just wanted to show my presence. I don't know what's going on, but I think I'll get there. So for now, I'll log behind.
We can see you. It's good to have you, Solomon. We've just started. We're just introducing ourselves and the rationale of this meeting, this brief generally. Yeah, Chris, go on. Let's dig in.
Okay. So basically, this idea was conceived to bring together the interviewees, and this session is going to be run by I and Anita in collaboration with other Cheveners. So Anita will take over usually like the chat and the questions. I have a very brief slide. I think there are 3 slides. I'll share with you basic things, which I'm sure all of you know. Then Anita, if you have something to share, you'll take over. Then if any other Chevener has, Simon Peter, could you mute, please? Yeah, thank you, Anita. So this is what we're going to do. I'm going to use like basically 10 to 15 minutes sharing a few basic tips just to bring everyone on board, but I'm sure most of you know more, you even have made a lot of research already. Then Anita, if you have any tips, anything to say, please blast away. Then, yeah, thank you. Then, but don't stop throwing in questions. If you feel like you want to interrupt, please do that. Then you can also use the chat function. You can also raise your hand up. This is formally informal. Then also, if you feel like you're not understanding, you can ask any of us to pause or share my screen.
Chris, are you going to share your screen?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do.
All right.
Okay. Can you see the screen? I don't know, I can't see it in full. Okay, good.
I can see.
Okay, so everyone has congratulated you. I formally congratulate you upon reaching this stage. I think later we'll know the proper numbers, but there were over 1,000 applicants. When making it this far is not easy. Congratulations once again. Thank you for writing well. Thank you for researching well. Now this is the time for you to make it count. So preparing for the interviews is there's no straight path. There are few tried and tested tricks that you could use, but everyone usually forms their own journey, charts their own course. So there's really no route that everyone can give you to say, if you do this, if you do this, if you do this, you're going to succeed. However, there are some things that over time seem to be working for a number of people. So those are the few tricks that I'll share here. First of all, the interviewers, like you should be knowing by this time, are representatives from the British High Commission, and a few, there's always also a representative from the Chevening Alumni Association in Uganda. I would urge you to dress very well, very, very well. Not like shiningly well to like take away the attention, but appear formal. Then also be prepared for unexpected questions, because they know that most of you are going to drill like what you want to say, cram, or even sing all your essays during the interview. So be prepared for questions which are like, oh, I didn't prepare for that. So as much as you can put in the hard work, understand your essays, know all the 4 sections that they're going to ask about: leadership, why UK, networking, blah, 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 career plan. You can know them so well by heart, but be prepared for an unexpected question or questions. And those should not throw you off balance, but that is your time to shine. then be as reluctant and as courteous as possible, because, well, they want to know you as a person. So do not shy away from expressing your personality, but that doesn't mean, like showing very comic jokes or something. But again, show that you are whole and a well-rounded person, not just, like a robot that has crammed the answers and you're going to just run through. So as a leader, blah, 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 in networking, I did this. No, but come, discuss, enjoy the process as a person. Don't, be a robot throughout the interview. Then, of course, be confident enough and remind yourself, well, I made it this far, so I have it in me. I have it in me to make it. And I have confidence that you made it here by yourself. So if you made it here yourself, then you're going to make it even through to the end. So this is why this meeting was convened. How can interviewees work together? And this is where I'm opening it up to all of us. This is where I want ideas on how you can work with each other, on how you can help each other, on how you can solicit for support from the alumni or even mentees from Chevening interviewees from other countries. I'll share my experience briefly. I was working with, I think Sandra. Yeah, Sandra is here. I was working with Sandra. We had several mock interviews, and other people, Stia, Agatha, like a whole lot of people who had been shortlisted for the interviews. So we were able to form a small group, do mock interviews, and ensure that at least we were confident enough before the panel. So that's one trick I would want to give you from now. So I want you to share on how you're going to use this platform well, also how you can work together. And yeah, anyone with ideas, anyone with suggestions on how you can work together as interviewees to make it to the end?
Solomon has his hand up. Maybe he can give
Oh, yes, Solomon.
I think my view is regarding we could, like you said, in the mock, we could like say schedule for individual, like for example, if I have another colleague who is also going for the interview, we could do together, and maybe with the support of one of the alumni being part of it. Could be a virtual one where 3 people maybe. If for example today I'm the one doing the interview, the 2 of them can be seeing or looking into how I asked it or what things that I need to improve on. So basically that's what I think for now.
Yeah, true. Okay, thank you, Solomon. Yeah, mock interviews together.
Can I say something?
Yes, please, Sandra.
Okay. Mock interview is really good. And you don't really need even to do it like on Zoom. You can get maybe a friend, then you give an outline of the interview guide or questions to ask you, then you go through it. You can have it over phone calls. We used to do it on phone with Chris. And then with Elvis, we used to do it on Zoom. It depends on what works best. You don't necessarily need to get an alumni to do it, but it is also a privilege to get maybe 1 or 2 mock interview with an alumni, but you can practice, you get together, you guys are in the WhatsApp group, you can pair up with someone you work well every evening. If you start doing it now, like every evening after work, you pick your phone, if you have some minutes on it, you talk, You interview one another, then you give feedback. You keep doing it like that to get into the mood. And then one thing you should do time and again, read your story. That essays that you wrote, make sure you are the one. Make sure like you tell that story, own it. As you practice, keep owning your story so that when you reach the other side, you're not going to be surprised and you're going to be the real person who wrote the essay. Thank you.
Thank you, Sandra. Okay, yes, Hilary.
Thank you. Yes, I totally agree with the mock interviews. And I think it would also be good to have physical interviews so that we can also check the body language, how we are showing our confidence. I think that will also be a very good aspect to get feedback from our colleagues. Over.
Thank you. Good idea.
Yes, Bathsheba. Bathsheba, you can go on.
Hello, good evening. My name is Bathsheba. Still on the mock interviews, I would encourage us, the mentees, to take the initiative to actually form groups. For example, there are some faces I've recognized here, and I would not have known if it was not for this platform. So I think we should take the initiative to even reach out to the people who we've recognized, even those we've not recognized, and form these groups and start practicing as soon as possible. Otherwise, the Chevening scholars on the call, thank you for making the time for us. We appreciate it.
Yeah, I think, thank you, Bathsheba, for mentioning that. I think Chris has already emphasized this, and I guess he has already emphasized it in the past, but the critical thing for you guys to know is that the journey is your journey. You have to own your journey, and you're a leader by, like, you're achieving, you're aspiring to be a Chevening scholar. So, and you've already said you're a leader. So just own it up, own your journey, do all it takes, flip everything that you have to flip to make sure you get it. The worst thing that can happen is coming close here and then you don't actually get through. So, and then you're saying, I wish I had. So you rather give it your entire everything. Just practice as much as you can, own everything, own your story, know everything inside out. Don't cram, you can cram, but I mean, like Chris said, don't reach there and be like a robot, but own your story to be able to twist it to the left and right, and you're able to articulate yourself properly. That's the most important thing. Chris, are you done, or should I go on and give more tips?
Oh no.
I think you get more. I want to just go on.
For Yingi there. Okay, let me emphasize on the two things.
Please do.
Especially what Hilary has mentioned. I think our cohort was well, I can't say disadvantaged, but because the cohort we what's the word that we went after, but okay, you get it, right?
Yeah, our
20
predecessors.
yeah, our predecessors, they faced it rough. I mean, they in UK they couldn't move. There was like all their studies were on Zoom, blah blah blah. At least a number of us have had blended learning. We've gone to class, although there are some Zoom sessions now, but at least we've been able to go to face-to-face classes. So one of the ideas our cohort had, though it didn't come to fruition, was what Hilary has suggested, having in-person mock interviews. You see, in the end, as much as these virtual platforms have come, but nothing beats face-to-face interactions. To me, that's my opinion, right? And I can't say with full certainty, but I think, well, yeah, I can't say with full certainty if they were able to hold, in-person interviews, even when it was during the pandemic. Now that the pandemic's effect has reduced, I am sure that they will most likely 99% hold the interviews in person. That being said, it is very good for you to practice, to have these mock interviews in person. So I'm glad that it has come from you. So Hilary, if you think you have a methodology, if you think you have a plan, a place, a time, and if you think you can actually take on this and drive it and ensure that it comes to pass. I think that 2019 cohort were doing their mock interviews from Makerere. I'm not sure when I was in Kabale, so I don't know what was happening in Kampala, as in the village. So those of the 2019 cohort, I think we're doing their mock interviews in Kampala. If anyone of you has any information about how they did run them, please step forward. But I am 101% pro mock interviews that are in person. Of course, this may exclude people who are far away from the city center, but in the end, the interviews are going to take place in Kampala. So that means you will at one point come to Kampala. So if you plan your time well, you can actually make it to one or two or more in-person mock interviews. So Hilary, if you have an idea, and if anyone else has a suggestion on how this can work, please step forward. And please, like Anita was saying, don't be shy. This is your platform. Bring ideas on how you can create synergies, on how you can make this work for your own good. Honestly, and I was sharing with Anita, most of the scholars at this moment are going to step into like the dissertation phase, like the current scholars. Most of them are handing in like their research proposals. So they're going into like a phase of writing their dissertation. So you've received some support, but a number of us actually don't have a lot of time. So that's why I would want even the WhatsApp group to be led by you, all these activities to be led by you, because one, I think it's the first essay, right? The first essay was about leadership, right? And all of you were writing how in 2018 you were taking on interventions, showing results. Then in 2018, I did this, then you got these results, all those star approach, nice things. This is your time. Yes, Hilary, please. And okay, I'm not the one in charge. If anyone has, yeah.
Before Hilary comes in, I just wanted to add that for those, because you say that there are those who used to meet in Makerere and those in Kampala may feel like they want to meet, and those out up country may feel like, oh, we are being left out or anything like that. Yeah. I just like, even for those who are up country or wherever you are, you can just organize mock interviews with your family members and with friends, because I did most of my mock interviews with family and with friends. And so don't feel like you're left out. Just ask your brother or your sister or your father, mother, and let them take you through the interviews. Because then, and also practicing in front of a mirror, that's what I used to do. Just get your mock, the questions that may be shared. I don't know whether you have any. Just go in front of a mirror, practice, build your confidence, and also ask your brothers, sisters, let them hear you speak and give you genuine feedback. Don't let someone just tell you, oh, you're good, you're good. No, let them give you the genuine feedback, because that's when you will improve your confidence, your communication skills, and how to approach certain questions. I just wanted to add that. And explore as many questions as possible, because you're going to get unexpected questions that may arise from whatever feedback you're going to give regarding the question you're going to be asked. So go with an open mind.
Yeah, thank you, Claire. Very, very important insights. Yes.
Can I say something?
Yes, please, Michael. Oh, Anita, sorry.
Oh, it's Michael. So, well, I just wanted to say something small. And well, I want to say that, first of all, we are Chevening scholars, and therefore what we are saying here is they are just our views of what we went through. So we do not actually represent Chevening. So by saying that, I'm saying you guys need to explore. They have talked about mock interviews. We cannot say how much you should focus on mock interviews, but also focus on what there are so many sources on YouTube concerning the mock interviews. There are so many people who have short videos concerning mock interviews. Go on YouTube, look out for all those videos, watch them, look at how they're approaching questions, and I believe you will do better. I'm telling you that mock interviews are the best way to go. It gives you morale, it boosts your confidence, and by the time you reach the panel, you are ready for it.
Yeah, thank you, Michael. Thank you so much, Claire. To add also on that, on practicing in the mirror, if you feel that you have a personality that, for lack of a better word, is modest, like tends to, you don't love talking about yourself. Yeah. Like if someone tells you you were the best in class, you'd be like, no, I don't want to say that. I would feel as if I am being, like proud of something. That's one of the things you may have to overcome, especially through these interviews. Chevening, well, like Michael has said, I'm not saying this because I'm going to be on the panel too. These are all our personal experiences. So Chevening has no copyright here. We're just sharing our personal experiences. You may need to come out of your shell if you're that kind of personality. You have to toy between being humble and being self-aware. Don't be too humble so that your humility stops you from talking about your achievements. And do not downplay your achievements, because most of the times you may say it out and you feel you're going to come out as proud or as arrogant or something. I wish I would have a better way of explaining this. And if any other Shivna wants to build on that, please take it away, because I think it's in most Ugandans' nature to be humble, to seem modest. And I've seen, in comparison to Nigerians who are very aggressive, and they can do one small thing, one very small one, just one meeting, and they will write about it. They will shape it in a way to show that they actually had tremendous impact. So find a way of articulating your achievements, balancing between not being arrogant, but again, not being too modest to downplay your achievements. Then on the sources on the internet, that's very key. But there's something called information overload. You might have to choose between what is too much, and also exercise, what do they call it? Like, you have to sieve. You don't watch every YouTube video that is saying we're having Chevening interviews or something. Be selective, explore all of them, and be selective, because again, if there's information overload, you may get confused because there'll be divergent views. People may say different things, and in the end, you might end up getting confused. So use YouTube videos with as much as you can, but with as much caution also as you can. This is as my personal experience, because I used the YouTube videos, but there are some things, even when I was not a scholar, I would disagree with. So exercise your agency, sieve through the media you use, but of course, explore. The world is your oyster. There's a lot of resources you can use, especially about the Chevening scholarship, who have written blogs, they've done very many things. There'll be Twitter spaces, like the one I shared. So there'll be a lot of media for you to explore, but again, exercise caution and don't consume everything as if it is gospel truth. The only gospel truth is the Chevening website. What they say, what they put out, whatever, I don't know if they make a typo, and they rarely do. They may not make a typo, but sleep on the Chevening website, book a bed, get a pillow, and sleep on the Chevening website, because they're going to start making posts. Sometimes they make like 3 posts in a day, but usually I think it is like 3 or 2 in a week. But now that the interview period is going to start, they're going to churn out a number of tips, questions. So you will have a lot to share, a lot to see, a lot to read. But that's where your agency and caution and sieving works. But of course, you don't sieve through the Chevening website. Just read whatever they point out, because, well, it's coming from an authentic source.
Chris, just to add, maybe on something that they would love to also check out more as they prepare is the interventions that the UK government is doing in Uganda in relation to their areas of study and in relation to their career plan. That is also very key, because at one point in time, you need to, when you maybe talking about your career plan, just what the UK government is doing in Uganda is very vital. You just have to chip it there and see how to fix it, because they want to see whether you're well versed with your area and what the country is also doing in your country in regard to that.
Yeah, that is true. Any other person wants to add? Because I want to give it to Anita. Before I do, I want to share briefly. Anita, I wanted to share with them the scorecard, like the interview, the PDF.
No, hang on. Let me just throw, because what I'm going to talk about is actually basically adding to the tips.
Yep, please. All right.
We can probably just exhaust that.
Yeah.
I've already talked about knowing your aces, owning your aces. I remember what happened when I was doing my interview. I tried to. One of the things that I was answering, and I mentioned something to do with the current project that I was working on. And one of the assessors was very curious and intrigued by what I mentioned. So the discussion changed moving forward. Like, it went into the project. How is the project affecting the people in Ginger? What results am I anticipating? Are you guys understand what I'm trying to say? So if you're going to, it's good, you have to make sure you talk about the things that you're working on, because they're creating impact. You're actually trying to show that you're doing something, but be ready for the things that are unexpected, and you might find someone who's very curious and they take you to another level. So, and it's a good thing, because you have you have the opportunity to prove, you have the opportunity to demonstrate that you're the leader that they're looking for. So be ready for all those things. The other thing I thought I have to emphasize once more is the STAR approach. As much as you talked about the STAR approach when you were writing your essays, even when you're answering the questions, emphasize the STAR approach. Make sure you have your situation, your task, your action, your results, and the lessons learned properly. Even as you prepare your answers, I believe, guys, I had like a couple of Word documents. Like, I would have like interview questions, version 1, version 2, version 4. I kept on making them better and better, because also I was trying to manage my time. like, as you answer the question, you want to make sure you're straight to the point, you're managing your time, and you're making sense. You get what I mean, right? Yeah. So the other thing that I also wanted to tell you guys is, when you're talking about, which I think I have learned after I've been here for a couple of months, is why study in the UK. Let's just say I've got to the revelation why they emphasize that we should leave Uganda and come to the UK, even when we actually, to a great extent, we are doing online classes, some of us, but they say come to the UK. So I would probably tell you, as if you can tweak it a bit, if you're answering that question, and add this part of the soft skills that you get. So the UK exposes you to different, don't be so cliche of culture. Yes, the culture is good and what, but there's the way the program is. It teaches you other soft skills much more than the information that you actually get on the program, which is probably one of the reasons why they say you have to come here. You have to be intentional about your networking. You have to be a good time manager. You have to plan immensely. So those other things, you can probably add it to your essays. That is me to say, that is me trying to say that in addition to what you wrote in your essays, beef them up, make them, don't change your essays, but make them better, have more realistic examples, but you don't have to change them, but just make sure that you bring in a little bit more juice. The other thing that I wanted to emphasize is, first of all, like Chris has already said, don't downplay yourself. So bring out your exceptional self at the interview. It's a one in a lifetime opportunity. Bring out that exceptional, authentic self. Maintain the theme that you talked about in your essays, the theme that you talked about. Mine was electricity access. I maintained that. So everything I was actually talking about was in relation to that, but just make sure you own it and you're authentic as you talk about it. Demonstrate passion. They are looking for what makes you stand out. In your essays, some things you are probably not able to demonstrate, to show your passion, but it's time to have a discussion with people. And if you're talking about a topic like gender, be able to demonstrate your passion about it. So that, I mean, you have to captivate someone. You have to really, really make sure that you get someone. The other thing, actually, the other tip that worked for me is, on the panel, there was an intimidating guy. There was someone who was subtle, sort of didn't give a damn. And then there was a person who kept on telling me, yeah, that's good. So even if that person wasn't actually feeling what I was saying, the person was saying, yeah, that's good. But I leveraged that. I needed to make sure that I keep on boosting my confidence as I talk about things. So I made sure that I focused as if on them. Then I also moved around in the different people. So if I needed to pick a bit of negative vibes, I go to the guy who was intimidating. If I wanted to pick a bit of like really positive vibes, I look at the person who was telling me, yeah, keep going, girl. So so just make sure that you're in charge of that place. You own the space, regardless of, they'll be so close. Like that interview is, the guys are too close. They're too close to you. And it can be a little bit, me, I was intimidated somehow, but I mean, we are probably different. Some of you guys are really too confident, which is a perfect thing. But yeah, so leverage on the space, leverage the different people's characters. You have to leverage that and know who you're speaking to, all those things. The other thing I wanted to tell you guys is that at the interview, that's the very last time the opportunity you have to change your university choices. So if you want to change your university choices, prepare beforehand and have a reason why you want to actually change your university choices. Like if you probably feel like right now, if don't be there saying, okay, I asked these guys, they don't want to give me an offer because they want me to do a proficiency test, so I'm changing my offer. No, have a valid reason why you actually change. You want to change from this as your first choice to the other as a second choice. And yeah, that's they'll ask you, they'll probably ask you, do you want, if they don't ask you, well and good, but if you say, I want to change from this, you have to have a valid reason that actually that justifies why you want to change. The other thing is, I would want to tell you guys to do, so some people have a different take on this, but for me, I believe I like planning. So I would advise you to, it's your time to have all the prerequisites ready. If they're looking for English proficiency, don't waste last minute, and then that's when you start doing your English tests. Guys, honestly speaking, like, don't waste last minute. If you have to do it anyway, some universities don't ask, but there are things that you know you want to start preparing. It's also a step of faith. So if you want to, you have to start doing those things now, ticking off the boxes, don't waste last minute. And then that's when you're running around doing things. There is that, okay, God forbid, but you can actually miss out on the great opportunity just because of something as small as that, which you could have done prior. So just prepare and get ready. Chris emphasized dress code. Guys, be smart. Chevening is a proud, like, to be a Chevener, you have to be proud, yo. Like, just make sure you are so smart. I don't mean party dress or anything, but make a statement. Put on that nice dress, put on that nice suit, wear that nice cologne, not too strong though, but like wear that nice cologne, have that nice beard shaped. Like guys, you have to be all round. Like, you're demonstrating, like, guys, I have this, I got this. I'm going to go to the UK and come and represent you. I'm the leader. I'm going to be the next minister. So you have to be really smart. I believe also we derive our confidence from our looks. So if you feel like you've nailed it on the dress, you'll be like, I'm going to actually nail it on the interview. So just make sure you do all those things. They seem minor, but they contribute so much. The other thing that I did that actually I believe stupidly made an impression was I had a folder of all my documentations organized. From the present, I went to, I think, game. I got a folder. All my certificates you can imagine. I even think like Sunday school, that if I had it, I would have put it there. But like, I had everything of mine in a folder. And so, and the top was, I think the top was my references. And then I went on. So when they asked me, do you have your, because you have to come with your original documents. Don't be there flying things with like a folder. When you open like a folder, one document falls to the right. No way. So just have your documents ready. If they ask you, do you have your original documentation, present them something organized. Let them flip through with ease. And they're like, oh, you have this. Yeah, this is good. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Those guys are easily impressionable, but you have to, it can be just the last thing that you do that makes them change their mind about the wrong answer you gave about networking. You get what I'm trying to say? So just give it your best and that. So the other thing is, oh yeah, the other one, guys, you have to pray. Guys, you have to pray. They've told you confidence, they've told you everything, but guys, you have to pray. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean on your understanding. You have to pray. I will probably, like, we have so many experiences. People have different journeys to Chevening, but I really wanted it so bad. But so I really know how badly I cried to God. So, but I have to tell you, you have to pray. You have to pray. You have to pray. You have to pray. Even as you're standing in the mirror rehearsing your aces, you have to pray about it and know that God has to give you favor. You have to make sure that happens. So yeah, I think I would probably say those are my tips that I would give you. They've mentioned literally everything. Practice, what, all those things. Yeah, those are the tips I'll tell you. But yeah, don't wait last minute and then you start getting your aces. It's your story, so you have to get it prior. Don't wait like 1 week, 2, and then you're trying to cram the aces. There can be there can be a small loophole in there. So you have to do it now, practice, give it time, own it up, be confident. The confidence builds with time. It just doesn't, some people can, but I believe you just don't wake up one day and you're like, oh my God, I'm so confident. So it builds with time. You have to sow, you have to let it germinate. Yeah. So those are my tips. We don't have much time, like Chris said. We don't have much time to support you guys and hold your hands, but you guys are leaders. So lead yourselves, make yourselves into groups. If you're not able to make yourselves into groups, you can, even if you feel you're alone, you can also do this as in, you can also do it on your own. I can't say, I know people who have done it, like people have always done it and done it on their own, but if you have the opportunity to meet people who can boost your confidence now, why not leverage that? Yeah, those are my tips, guys. Questions?
Thank you, Anita, for your energy. I've taken up
Chris,
the role now.
is it
Yes?
okay if I just 1 or 2 minutes, I just share something, especially on my
Yeah,
side?
it's all right.
So
It's all right.
people always ask me, how did I get the Chevening scholarship? How did I hear about it? So it's just an addition to what Anita has shared. I actually got my, I knew about Chevening scholarship through a dream. May be surprised, yeah. Just one night I had a dream and I just saw this word which had blue around it and white, and it was like Chevening. And so I woke up in the morning, went to Google and searched what does Chevening mean. And then there it was. So like, oh, Chevening is a scholarship in the UK, blah, blah, you know, all those sorts of stuff. And so like I started searching about it and reading more about it, went to Facebook, researched about, looked for all the groups that had Chevening and everything. And I read about it. Lucky enough, there was one guy who is one of our predecessors. I got in touch with him because I knew what I wanted to do. I knew my field, I knew my career plan and everything. So I kind of just reached out to him just for tips. Yeah, he was as busy as we are at the moment. I could say he was there for me during the beginning times, just like 1 or 2 times just to encourage me. And so I started writing my essays. And I remember only 2 people were available to support me in editing my essays. And so I submitted my essays on the day that was like a day before the closure. And after that, as Anita said, I went to prayer. I told God, this scholarship came to me through a dream, and I know you gave it to me. And I want you to lead me from the very start of submission to the very end until I get it. When results came back and people were getting rejections, I said, God, I'm not a failure. We're going through till the very end. I was shortlisted for the interviews. When I went for my interviews, I did my very best to prepare for it. And I knew that when I enter that interview room, I'm going to come out as a winner. I told God, you know what, we are going there, the 2 of us, because I'm your child and I'm not going to be ashamed. So we are going in there, we are going to do the interview together, and we are coming out as a victor. When results came back for the interview results and everything, that very morning I had a dream that my pastor back home in Uganda was asking me that now, since you're going to study peace, conflict, and development, what are you going to do for your community? And that very day at 11 a.m., an email came in, I was awarded a scholarship. So do not think that, oh, now it's time for me to relax since I've been chosen. No, that maybe you can do this on your own. You can't. You need to put God at the center of everything. Do your very best, but ask him to guide you and let him be there with you through the very beginning, through the very whole journey. Let him be there. Let him be at the center of everything. That's just what I wanted to share, because I've never shared this with any Chevening scholars, because some friends I've shared it with are like, you look weird. How can that happen? But God speaks, and he speaks in mysterious ways. Thank you.
Over to you, Anita.
Oh my God, I was, guys, I literally went into Lugambo, but yeah. But yeah, I'm done. So we have seen some questions in here. Thank you very much, Claire. I've seen some questions. Edith, please go on and ask your question. Carol is asking, does she have to submit certified copies of transcripts? I don't recall doing that. It's just originals, right? It's just when you're coming for the interview, just come with your originals to be verified. On submitting onto the website, I think you've already submitted, or even later, they'll ask for now, I'm not sure, but just the copies. You don't need to have certified copies. Any other question, guys? Edith, if you don't mind, you can raise your hand and just shoot a question. We're here for that. If not, Chris, go on and talk about the scorecard.
Hi, hello, it's this. Can I ask my question?
Yeah, please go on.
Thank you so much, Anita. Sorry, I called you. I was confused. I don't know who was who, but thank you so much, Alex. And thank you, Chris, and everyone. Yes, my question is on the offers for the universities. Currently, I have 2 offers. They're all conditional. And the requirements for each of those is really that.
We didn't hear you. It is what's the requirement?
Can you hear me? My network is a bit sketchy. I don't know if you can still hear me.
We lost you somewhere. Just mention the requirements that they need.
So I was asking, I haven't done my ELT, so my 2 offers from the universities are all conditional upon providing the English test language. Does it matter if I'm going for the interviews and all my offers are still conditional or not? Or I would need to make sure that I fulfill all the requirements?
Okay.
Okay, go on, Chris.
Okay. Edith, did you have another question? Oh, that was it.
Yeah, that was it. Maybe I didn't have a question. I just wanted to maybe empower us, the interviewees, us the ones who are waiting to be interviewed, on whether we could even really find out where we stay in regard to location. Personally, I'm not in Kampala, I'm in Fort Portal. I could be here and I have some people who have been selected, so it would be easy for us to meet for the mocks. We could probably get more data on where each of us is located so that we can be able to do the meetup if it's possible. If it's possible, maybe also my other question would be on if you can kindly provide us the sample questions with the interviews, so even as we prepare, we know what we're expected to really answer.
Okay, so those are 3 questions. I'm just going to take a stab on the 3 of them, and the other Shivnas, please. You're always generous. Show your generosity, please, please, please. One, let me share briefly my experience with IELTS, or the English proficiency. I can't say I'm a veteran, but I began hunting for scholarships, I think last year, but 1. So I did the IELTS, got the required mark, but it expires after 2 years. So it didn't work for me for any of these offers that I got here. So you can try one route, which, since you still have some time, I'll be willing to share with you a template that I used. I don't know what the universities you have, but most of the universities may give you a window to request for a waiver. I don't know if you can still, but yeah, we can talk about that later, but that's one route I would try for now. But like Anita said, if they cannot give you a waiver, the best thing for you to do is to actually sit for the IELTS and be sure that you have at least 1 or 2 unconditional offers. Your second question, I don't know if that is in the same order, but I remember you asked about where people stay and how the interviewees can work together. This was our first interface, and from now, I think we're going to do this in the WhatsApp group. I would request all of you to do comprehensive introductions. I remember we did it. Yeah, we did introductions, right? Yes, we did. So we're going to do introductions. You may need to do. Okay, you may need to do proper introductions so that you can know each other, what you've been doing. Maybe you may find that you're even in the same areas of work, like Anita talks about themes. You may find you're sharing themes, which makes it easier for you to collaborate together. Or you may be in the same locality, which makes it easier to work together. You had a third question. I don't know if I remember it. So maybe the other Shivnas can step in, and if you still remember the other third question.
I honestly don't remember that question, but but it's well articulated, Chris. I will just emphasize I moved on. I got an unconditional offer from my second choice university. I moved on past the other two. I didn't bother. Because at the end of the day, Chevening says you should have at least one unconditional offer at the end of the day. You're going to only go to one university at the end of the day. So if you have the one that you desire to go to and they've given you an unconditional offer, submit that you're done. You're done. You don't need to start fulfilling requirements for places you don't actually want to go to. Yeah, I'll emphasize that. Edith, we forgot your last part of the question. Claire and Michael.
Maybe just to help Christopher, what I asked was at the point of the interview.
Oh dear, we lost you.
Yeah,
Do I need to have an offer I can follow through at the point of the interviews? Not
Do you need what?
no, she was asking whether at the point of interview you need to have an unconditional offer, and
Yes.
yet right now she has only conditional offers.
Yeah, Claire, go ahead and respond.
Okay, so at the point of interview, you might have an unconditional offer or conditional offer. It doesn't matter, because Chevening will give you a deadline, I think of 15th June or July?
July.
For you to to submit one unconditional offer. So it doesn't matter whether at the moment you have conditional offers.
Actually, some people, I hadn't applied to my universities by that time. Like by the interview, sometimes you don't, like, you might not even have applied. What we're trying to say is, don't stress a lot about getting all conditional offers before the interview. Prepare for the interview now, but write, apply, get everything that you have to get, but don't stress about it. You'll have a couple of months after to be able to fulfill that requirement. Yeah.
There are some universities that accept our seniors full results. Yeah. As part of the English, and they call them GEC something. That's what all my universities accepted. And also, like, I went to Makerere before when I applied, I got an English language certificate from Makerere University. So I used that to get an unconditional offer from the University of Birmingham. I don't know whether that can work for other universities or not, but try to inquire with your universities and find out whether they can accept either your certificates from O-level or maybe any other English language certificate that you have. Just trying to inquire.
Okay. Yes, I think I remember also the University of Sussex was able to allow the UCE grade that was below credit 4 in English. Then there are other universities that are flexible, but you need to reach out. Tell them, look, I don't have the English test, but we are a country that is speaking English. I mean, okay, I'm going to a whole new other topic, which may take us a whole day. Someone is just, yeah, okay, the question about interview questions, you're going to get as many as you need. They'll keep coming in the group. I'm sure, I've checked briefly in the group. Sandra, Claire, and the others have already shared like mock interviews. So we will keep supporting you in the WhatsApp group. But like I would say, and I will keep saying again, look out, explore the internet, where we get them from the internet, which you access, because since you're on Zoom, you're also accessing the internet. Please, I don't know if I would sound unkind, but do not allow us to spoon feed you, because it is not good for you. In the end, when you come to the UK, you realize that actually being spoon-fed is not good for you. You'll have to go into the lake, get a spear or a net, and fish for yourself. What we've done is create a platform to bring all of you together. What you do, how you interact, should entirely be up to you, because we believe you're the Chevening leaders, and I trust in the rigor of the Chevening scholarship. So they chose the very best in the country and from the applicants. So go on the internet, for example, if you could do a quick Google search right now of Chevening interview questions, I am sure you most likely get to a website that provides always a plethora of 1 million interview questions that will help you. So if you think you will need help from us on questions that are very, very, okay, technical is not the right word, but I'll use it either way, but still go out, fish for yourself. If you think you've tried several options and you failed, we are here to help. We're not running away, but I'm just trying to emphasize that try to learn how to do most of the things on your own. Quite unkind, but I think honest enough.
Solomon has his hands up.
Well, thank you very much. I won't re-echo what has been said. I must appreciate you for what you have already mentioned or said during the previous minutes. 3 things that I want to talk about. I think more on what someone typed in the chat on the reference letters. I think you can maybe pinpoint something on that. Do we have to carry our original reference letters as well? Then 2, I personally have 2. I have one unconditional offer from my last choice, which is Sussex. They actually took my O-level for it, but then my first choice was actually denied for some reasons. I think they said about competition and everything, and they couldn't allow me at that point. So I'm still pending or waiting on my second choice, which for me is what I want to take on. At the point of interview, if I do not get the feedback, for example, from the university on that particular choice, how do I go with that? Because I have actually been inquiring from the university on the process of processing the offer, because I did apply earlier and it's been quite a while. The third one basically is more of a thank you, and again to say, like Chris said, it's not spoon feeding. We are all leaders, so I think we should embrace everything that our seniors have said already, and really try to learn from each other and really share as much as possible. One thing I've learned is that selfishness doesn't make you a leader. So every information that we have that is helpful, I think we should be able to share it. For those that live in Kampala, I stay in Kampala, so I'd be happy to root with you. And I'm going for climate change mainly. So if you're in that particular field, you're welcome to tag along with me so that we see how we manage ourselves. Thank you very much. That's it for me.
Spoken like a real leader. Thank you, Solomon.
Can I say something?
Yes, Sandra.
Yeah, because I saw this question says in the group about referees and references.
Yes.
Yeah, I believe after being shortlisted, they emphasized that, and I believe you guys have reached out to your referees at this moment, and there's also a deadline to upload these letters on the Chevening portal. And then during the day of the interview, you're going to carry it there. So, and always they do a reminder anyway, they'll call you a day before your interview to tell you what you're supposed to bring. And the 2 letters is mandatory to bring. What you should do at the moment, the person says that is the reference letters put into consideration. I think yes, because if not, why do they ask for it? It is part of the requirements. And then you guys, I think most people, you write the reference by yourself. The role of your referee is to edit the letter, make it like perfectly well according to what they understand or based on the relationship the two of you have. So most people, I think you should work on that. Don't wait, like maybe you could tell them like, have been shortlisted, they need this. They will say, yeah, but these are very, very busy people. They don't have time. How do you make it easier? By drafting your own letter, send it to them. They will put it in their own word and send it back to you. And then you upload, you print out a hard copy, which you will carry with you to the interview. But any other scholar can say something on the consideration, but I think it is part of the requirements. That's why they ask for 2 referees. Thank you.
Yeah, maybe I can
go on, Michael.
Yeah. Sandra is right, considering the referees, because it is part of the requirements, where it might not have played a role in you being shortlisted for interviews, but it will play a role for you being selected because it's a requirement. If you don't fulfill the requirement, then automatically you will not be. But I don't think it is something that should really cause an issue. We should all be able to provide referees, and usually they will ask you to go with them at the time of your interviews. And then, like Chris said, we are not really supposed to spoon feed you. We can say that at this moment you have been selected for interviews and they will only choose the best. And you being shortlisted for interviews, it means you are really capable of. The truth of the matter is that they cannot take all of us. There are those that will be left. And then that means that they will take those who work extra hard. You need to do a lot of research about Chevening and familiarize yourself with the Chevening website. Concerning doing mock interviews, even if it means you interacting with people from abroad, you know, there are so many global Chevening fan groups. Even if someone from another country, you can also interact with them. It's not that you are supposed to only get mock interviews with your fellow colleagues in Uganda. So there are a lot of people you can do mock interviews with, fellow applicants from different countries. So utilize these opportunities, utilize the platform, maximize all the opportunities. And at the end of it all, the best will be chosen. The only thing we know about Chevening, these guys are experienced and they will take the best. And you will only be the best if you take that extra effort that will make you stand out from the rest. So we shall be sharing more of these tips as we go on. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Michael. Okay. Yes, Anita.
Thank you, Valeria, for the observation. Yeah, it's good. I have a couple of questions that are here in the chat. Just to emphasize references, I believe references are just like when Chevening used to still ask for the English proficiency. Those are pass or fail. You have, or you either have, or you have, or you don't. Like what I'm trying to say is they put it there because it attests to your professional and character. So they want to be able to know who can they, if they are doing a background check on you, they want to know who can they contact to actually find out who is Anita. Why is she doing, if she's saying she works in this place, is she actually working there? So it's very paramount. It's it's not in the scorecard. I don't think it's not in the scorecard, but is it in the scorecard, Chris? No, it's not in the scorecard, but it's a pass or fail. You have to have it. I have another question here. If the university does not respond, what are the next steps? No, someone asked that. I think it's like if the university does not respond, what are the next steps? Did you guys address that?
Oh, she was talking about the English proficiency test, and
yes.
we we talked about her, if she doesn't get a waiver on those 2 accounts, there are like 4 accounts. Claire talks about getting like a letter from the university, maybe USCE or UCE results of English. Then you can also write an email, and at my university was able to provide a waiver. They gave a form for me to fill, which I did, giving the reasons why I could not, 1, afford the test. I told them I'm receiving half pay and the test is about this amount. So due to the COVID pandemic, I have a family I'm taking care of. I'm not able to take care of this challenge.
Okay.
They were good enough to waive it off. So if they do not waive it off, unfortunately, you actually have to sit that test.
Actually, this question, thank you, Chris. This question is someone who asked one of the universities they applied to if the university is delayed to apply. I know that UK turnaround time for universities to respond to you is not a long time. Yeah. So if you apply to a university and they're taking so long to respond, I would advise, honestly, you look at other options and have them there. That's just my opinion.
Which university is that?
There's, I think it's, I don't know if it's Solomon. He asked someone asked that question and said.
Yes, it's me. University of Edinburgh. Although I sent an email, I think last week, inquiring on why the process is taking long, and I think it's in their system because they keep sending me an email saying you haven't completed the application yet. When I check the portal, it's actually complete. So I wrote an email inquiring on why I'm receiving emails over and over, and I think they'll be getting back to me in the next 5 days. That's what they say. So
okay,
I'll get back.
Okay,
all right.
5 days is fair enough.
Yeah, sorry, Anita. Again, we have a few scholars, I think. Kaswiti, oh, okay, that's not the real name.
Chloe Kobrungo.
Chloe is in Edinburgh.
Chloe is in Edinburgh. So
yeah.
if you still get challenges, you can get in touch with one of the Cheveners who is at Edinburgh, and that's the good thing with the Chevening family. Most of the Cheveners you'll contact, if the concern is really genuine and they see that you've tried several ways, like you've done your bit and you've not actually succeeded, they may pause even what they're doing to help you. I know Cheveners can do that, especially when they know that you've done your bit of the work and maybe the system is slow or it is really urgent. They will be able to help. I can at least say that with total confidence. I think we are.
Chris, to
Yes.
add on to that, like if you know any of the Chevener that is in the university you're trying to get in touch with and you've tried for days, you're not getting feedback, please get in touch with them. They have a university email address and they can actually write to them, maybe even to the course director in your department, plus your application reference number, and you'll get a feedback immediately.
Yeah. Okay, thank you very much. I'll look into that.
Yeah, okay. I think we may have to quicken up because I think we're overshooting our time.
That's true.
Yeah.
Okay, just the other one, someone asks in the biography, in the scholar biography, does it look bad if you're not on Instagram or Twitter? I believe those are personal choices that people make to be on social media. I don't know.
Well, but I would advise you to at least be on one.
Yes, Instagram, Twitter maybe or something, but also still that's a personal opinion. If you can demonstrate how you network outside those other portfolios, if you can't demonstrate, I don't know. I know people who don't do.
Anita, I'm sorry, I will have to disagree with you.
Can I share my screen?
Yeah.
Okay.
Briefly, yeah.
Yes, personally, I think I've received a lot of help using LinkedIn. The first time I actually tried to apply, this is more like the third time I'm doing the application. And before that, I didn't really connect with anyone until when I really embraced social media, and I took LinkedIn mainly. So about 2 years back, I got in touch with one scholar, who actually was helpful throughout the process in guiding me how this and this should happen. So I think, like you said, it's really important for us to at least embrace one social media. And for professional or I would say LinkedIn is one good one that someone can really take on. That's what I could say. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Solomon. The other one was one of you will answer this. Change of choices. Most someone is saying if the two, does it decrease one's chances to change if they change a choice? For example, if where you have an unconditional offer from universities that you did not include in your application.
Okay, I will summarize this because I think at this moment it is not a very big concern. But if you have an unconditional offer, that's a very good thing. If it is in a program that is either the same name, or closely related, like all the modules are the same, but maybe the name changes slightly, I think it will be admissible. But the best thing is if you, let's say, if you're doing international development at the University of Sussex and you have an offer from, let's say, in international development at the London School of Economics, they will be able to accept it. So long as the modules, the course is generally the same, and most likely the name is the same, they'll be able to admit that offer.
All right, thank you very much, Chris. Yeah, I think those are the questions that we have.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much. I think we've run out of time. Since I have the PDF of the Chevening Interviewing scorecard, I will share in the group. You can look through it, study it carefully because it's like the marking scheme that they would use to grade. And usually I will tell you aim for 16 out of 16 because usually most of the marks out of 4, like 4 maximum points in leadership, 4 maximum points in YUK, 4 maximum points in networking, 4 maximum points in your career plan. So using the scorecard, they will actually grade to see if you are, okay, briefly, this is the scorecard. Can you see the screen, please?
Yes.
Yes, good. So this is what they will use to mark your responses to the question that they will shoot at you. So for example, in leadership, you will get 4 out of 4, which is outstanding. If you've held a position of leadership in a professional context, including a voluntary organization, political party, university, NGO, charity, or professional association, and if you've provided strong evidence that you've shaped opinion in your home country through debating, politics, blogs, lecturing, education, social media, policy work, etc. So the applicant has provided a multiple number of examples to demonstrate their strong leadership and influencing skills. Now, of course, by the very, very fact that your essays have made it to the interview, that means these are already present in your essays. So like what we've been talking about is you being able to make your essays live, present them as if they are living. Don't present your essays as if they are a dead document, just reading through. So put flesh onto these essays that you've written and ensure that you get at least an outstanding from all these criteria. I will share this in the group for the benefit of time, so that you can study this further and see what each metric means and where you should not, of course, you should not get poor. You should not get poor at any level. You should not get good. Good is not enough for you to make it at the Chevening interview. The least you should get is very good. should you actually avoid very good? Yeah, avoid very good. Aim for outstanding, because you are in the call. I've seen 22 maximum, meaning we have like 4 Cheveners. So if they want to pick the cream de la cream, who have scored 4, 4, 4, 4. So ensure that you get this, take it as your Bible. I don't know if they will change it. I hope they don't. They usually never change this. But this is something on top of the Chevening website that you should hold so close, dear, in your heart. Have it in your mind so that whichever question you're answering demonstrates all these outstanding things. Flavia, you have your hand briefly.
Thank you so much. Hi, everyone. Thank you so much, Cheveners, for the session. It has been really helpful. I had posted a question in the post, but my network got a bit bad. I just wanted to confirm: does it look bad in the diaspora biography for the different interviewees, and does it look bad to not have an Instagram and Twitter account? Then the second question is, does it also spoil chances if you change your choices, your university choices? Like in cases where you have unconditional offers from other places, but not yet from your universities.
Okay, I think we answered those questions very well. One, I don't think you will be disqualified if you don't have if you're not present on social media, on Twitter or Instagram. But I would highly recommend you to at least be present on Twitter, let's say, or even Instagram, because you're going to share your experience when you come to the UK. So it's not because it's not on the marking scheme, like you're not going to be disqualified because you don't have them. But from my personal perspective, I would highly encourage you to have those accounts. They are free. I mean, but if you think you don't want to, it's your right, and you can't be disqualified because you don't have them. So on your concern of having an unconditional offer in a university which you didn't list in the application, you can't be penalized, especially if the course name is the same as the one that you showed in the application. I gave an example of international development. If you have an unconditional offer at let's say University of Sussex, and you did not list it in your application, and it is the very same course, or they are same modules, it's literally the same program, but maybe just slightly a different name, I think that is highly permissible, but that's not up to me to judge, because, well, like Michael said, I'm not a Chevening officer or something. I could share my experience, but the best thing would be if it is the same course, same name. If there's not, okay, if there's not any other thing, I think we can have one of you, any one of the Cheveners to wrap it up, to say something. Then I think we've all given like sort of our closing remarks. You can have one of the Cheveners.
I think, I don't know if Emma has joined, because he wanted to join. I don't know if he's already in or not. I don't know. But what I want to say is, much as we are doing all these preparations, the people you're practicing with, whoever you're doing the mock interviews with, make sure that you tackle that part of career plan very well, because that is what has been letting people down most of the time. Career plan. You really need to have a clear plan with a very clear objectives, and you explain it very well. So we put that into consideration as we prepare. You can talk about all these other things very well. Then you go the other side, you have challenges. Another thing, sometimes you're talking about all these, especially under leadership and networking. They are going to ask you something that you don't expect, and it is very, very hard if you have not been doing whatever you talked about in there. Me under networking, they never ask me those formal things everyone knows. They ask me, is there a situation you have ever used networking to solve? I was not expecting it. So you're going to pause a little bit, think through what you're going to say, and you resume talking, and you shouldn't show them that you're lost, you don't know what you're talking about. So let us take care of those surprises. Career plans, the unexpected. Thank you.
Oh yeah, thank you, Sandra. I've seen Emma. Emma, please don't say something.
Hello, members.
Hi, Emma.
Hi. I'm sorry I came late, but I'm so excited to see all of you here, and many of my mentees and friends who managed to get into the shortlist. I know you put in so much effort to get this far, but we want to get you all the way to the end, and you get the most treasured prize of all. So I'm grateful. I'm sure Chris and the other Chevening scholars and alumni have already guided you. I don't think I can add anything more to that, except that you should prepare, and prepare. That's all.
Thank you so much, Emma. I went through Emma Olao's hands. I can comfortably say that my story was modeled around his support. So he's a veteran. We had to give him an opportunity to say something, and I'm sure he's still mentoring many of you. We can't appreciate you enough, Emma. Thank you so much for contributing to the lives of many people. And I'm sure that many people are where they are because of the support you gave them, and many are going where they are going. We really, really appreciate.
Chris,
Anita? Yeah.
There are two questions in the chat
Yes,
from
Claire.
Faith, and one is like, how long do you take in the interview? If you have selected your interview slot right now, you must know the time you're going for your interview and the time it's supposed to end. Often these interviews take about, I think, 30 to 40 minutes, because I remember mine was 35 minutes. That's how long my interview was. So you must know by now how your interview, like how many minutes or hours it's going to take, but you won't take their hours. At least maximum. Yeah, there are those who have gone for 1 hour or so, but I think mostly your slot should tell you the amount of time you're going to spend in the interview. And then the second question of how many questions are asked roughly, it depends on how you answer your questions. There are those who go in the interview section and in the interview room, they asked 4 or 5 or 6 questions. There are those who ask 10 questions. There are those who asked more than that. So it depends. There is no a maximum amount of questions that the interviewers are going to ask you. So just go with an open mind and be ready for any question that will be thrown to you. Be prepared. That's why we are doing this right now.
Yeah, and again, enjoy the experience. It's a conversation, actually. Just that it's a professional conversation, not they beat him and the wife was crying. No, it's not rumor mongering, but it's, I don't know how to say it well, but as much as it is very professional, but you shouldn't, and I will stress this, please don't go when you're shaking, you're timid, you're like, oh, I'm going to fail, or I'm going to give this wrong answer. Like Sandra was saying, you may get a question that will throw you off balance in a way that you didn't really see it coming. Because of course, as the conversation, as the interview goes, you can in a way anticipate the next set of questions. So a question will come, which one, you didn't prepare for adequately, two, you didn't see it coming. They will give you water. So use that water to your advantage. They throw that question. You will need about 30 seconds or less to compose your mind, because of course, when you go into that interview, your mind is already set, so that yes, Emma is saying, just to clear the air, it is okay to say at the start that you're a little bit anxious, even at the start of the interview, because, well, a number of them have gone through these interviews, so they know what it means. So it's very important to also use that water technique or find ways of overcoming the anxiety. If you pick that glass of water, those 10 seconds, you've already made up your mind and you will be able to answer very well, because again, you prepared for this. This is your moment to shine. What else was I going to say? Yes, Claire shared that she took 35. I was following Claire in the interview. Claire, you took up our time. And then I delayed Sandra.
Yes, Claire took long time in there. No, I didn't.
So the interview time is, yes, they can say you booked for 30 minutes, but it's not like it's 30 minutes, so get out. No, it's a professional conversation. So of course, if there's an issue that they feel has not been addressed well, it may take a little bit longer. Or if you answer very precisely, you can even take shorter time. But yeah, as Emma was saying, use all these interview gimmicks. Start with saying, you know, guys, I'm a bit anxious, so
That's true.
Yeah, just to add on being asked an unexpected question. Also, like just as an interview technique, you asking the other person to maybe repeat the question to give you time to compose yourself and be able to articulate it in a way that you understand it better. Because if you just jump into a question which you did not expect to answer it, of course, kind of you might not give an appropriate answer, but just ask the other person to kindly repeat the question. Also, like gives you some moments of a few seconds for you to compose yourself and find ways on how to articulate it.
And then also prepare some questions for the panel. I don't know, it could be in your field, something you're interested about, or anyway, for me, I was talking about football, which I've never stepped in any stadium here. But I asked them, yeah.
Okay.
I went to Anfield to watch Arsenal and Liverpool. That's a topic for another day.
Okay. Anita, you have anything for us, or
No,
should we
actually,
call?
not really.
Okay.
Not really. I'm just looking forward to seeing people step up in the chat and progress the discussions. I'm looking forward to hearing that people are doing the mock interviews. They are supporting one another. I'm generally looking forward to hearing that. Honestly, that's all. That's for me. That's the expectation after here.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Chivnas, for coming. Thank you, Olau. Thank you, team. Who is stepping up today from the prospective Chivnas to give the final leaders?
Did I get you something? Chris, could you repeat what you're saying?
Yeah, we're giving this opportunity to a prospective Chivna, okay, that the one who has made it to the interview, to say one last word on behalf of the other interviewees.
Hey, can I speak?
Yes, please.
I think I haven't talked since the start of the meeting. So I'm very excited. first of all. Chris, thank you for your support. I know I reached out to you before that, and I was really anxious, and you were able to calm my nerves a little bit. So thank you so much. Well, this meeting just gives us this confidence already. I feel confident about responding to the questions. I feel like, I'm definitely more confident than before we started this meeting. So definitely I've taken away certain tips. Of course, I like Claire's tip of drinking water. I think it was Claire drinking water, but then she emphasized prayer. If I told you my story about applying for this, I applied at the last minute in 1 week's time, you guys. Because a Chevening school in Kenya, a friend of mine told me, Linda, apply, it's okay, just do the essays. And I'm like, let me just do it. But now I did it because of her, really. But now each passing day, I owned it up. I now like it. And I now definitely take the interview. So thank you so much. We'll definitely get in touch with fellow aspiring scholars to do the mock interviews. Yes, and we will not disappoint you, definitely. We shall be reaching out to you for your support. And yeah, we'll make you proud, definitely. So thank you so much, our scholars. Thank you, Anita, Claire, Chris, and everybody else for your guidance. We truly, truly appreciate. And yeah, we won't disappoint you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Linda. Oh yeah, and there's Gerald. I think Gerald is from Kenya. So we have Kenyans in the house. Gerald, you could wave to us.
Hi everyone, good evening.
Yeah, hi.
I hope you can hear me. I'm sorry, my camera is not working today.
Yeah.
I'll try to get a webcam soon.
All right.
Nice to meet you all. Looking
All
forward
right.
to the next sessions ahead. Thank you.
All right, thank you. I think that's it from us, and we'll continue more on the chat. So bye for now.
Bye, guys. All the best.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye. Thank you, guys.